Although it does seem like it's been forever, we finally got an update that is going to address Recon and how exactly they reworked the class to fit in with all the others. Controller is finally getting a much needed fix, along with a massive upgrade and a new solo mode that gives you one of the sickest skins I've seen in this game. The mid-season patch 1.6 is going to be a doozy. And again, I just want to state that this is an incredibly fast turnaround in terms of tuning and balance changes. The dev team never fails to impress in their speed and diligence. Let's get this done short and sweet to get you guys back into the arena as fast as possible. But before I get started, if you guys found this video informative, smash that like button. It's a small button for you, but it truly means the world to me and massively helps my small channel grow. Also, subscribe for all things and finals, from updates to aim training and soon movement tech, as well as solo rank tutorials. I have a lot planned, but please forgive me if it takes a little while. In my guide videos, I want to give you guys nothing short of 100% to never take advantage of your time and attention. So with that being said, let's get started. On to balance changes. First, we have gadgets. Your dome shield will now show enemy colors instead of just being red. This will require you though to have enemy colors turned on. The vanishing bomb got a buff with the increased invisibility interrupt grace period going up to 0.35 seconds for the players from 0 seconds and from 0.65 seconds to 0.8 seconds for teammates. They've also increased the duration of vanishing bomb invisibility for teammates from 5 to 6 seconds. We have improvements to the placement validations for zip lines, making them easier to deploy. Moving on to maps, in Las Vegas they added cover to the kitchen trolleys to make them easier to use, replaced the zip lines between Eastwood and Decorah with a jump pad, moved various cover pieces to avoid gaps in cover, as well as various chairs to make traversal easier. They removed the turrets and tripwire map variants in quick cache, banquet, tournament, and rank modes to fix various bugs and reevaluate the gameplay design. And then they just go into detail about micro changes they made inside the Vegas map, which, to sum it all up and not waste your time, they either moved, removed, and added a couple of in-game objects and made it easier to traverse the casinos, while adding cover to places that need it, and finally updated vault spawn locations. On to specializations. The mesh shield will now follow suit with the dome shield and be the color of the enemy team that is using it. Coming in hot with a justifiable nerf, Recon Sense's range has been limited to 30 meters. Players outside of this will not be detected. Now let's hope that they actually fix the inspect animation for the jump pad exploit, because if they didn't, this nerf would be absolutely pointless. Also, the players that are detected by the Recon Sense will now see a detected warning on the hub. This is a great change because it's not taking away the utility of Recon, but just bringing it back in line with all the other specializations. Alright, onto content and bug fixes. They fixed a small issue with the LH1 reload and goo gun inspect animations, updated reload animations when aiming down sights to add slightly more movement to them. They updated the footsteps, audio, and mix for players, teammates, and enemies, fixed an issue where spawn sound effects would be cut off with spawning, updated various voiceover lines, as well as fixed bugs associated with them. This is really huge here. They added 10 more levels to the career rank, along with additional rewards, making the max career rank now 50 rather than 40. This will provide the sense of progression that players desperately need, and is fantastic for the overall health of the game. And to top it all off, the skins you get from ranking up are absolutely amazing. You gotta check them out. Moving on, they fixed an issue where our character models would have blown out kneecaps. And now on to the long-awaited fix as well as upgrade, with controller players finally being able to add gyro aiming for PS5 DualSense and PS4 DualSense shock controllers, which is absolutely huge. If taken advantage of, you could possibly have the same movement as M&K with the aim assist that controller provides. There is so much untapped potential with gyro aiming, because I truly do think it is the future of controller aiming if implemented correctly. Please, if you have one of these controllers, give it a try. They finally got around to fixing the issue with aim assistant sensitivity reduction that caused almost no sensitivity reduction to be applied to targets closer than 20 meters. Coming from an M&K player, I'm going to tell you right now, this was desperately needed, because prior to this patch it was close to impossible to try and track a target at close range. So hopefully with this tuning it'll make controller more approachable again. Along with that fix, they also reduced the input latency on the PS5. They fixed an issue that prevented players from emoting while crouching. Now on to gadgets. For the defib, they fixed an issue where the player statues cannot be targeted when they were either lying in foliage or when being carried. Fixed various issues with placement distances on deployable gadgets. They fixed an issue where turret parts could collide with each other, causing strange behavior when placed on barrels. Now on to the new game mode called Steal the Spotlight. In this solo game mode, it will be night and the arena will have no light, as well as the catch-out stations being guarded by turrets and tripwires. Also, don't forget you are getting an absolutely disgusting skin, I mean that in a good way, from this event. Here, just take a look at it. I mean, come on, this looks better than most of the paid skins they have in the store. Let's get back to it. Now in all game modes, players will be able to edit their weapons, gadgets, and specializations in their loadout at the start of each match. Alright, this is definitely something which is much needed and finally offers some counterplay potential while in tournaments. There is nothing worse than being stuck with a specialization in the final round of a tournament that can't counter the opposing team comp. I have to admit that is a pretty awesome change. They have now lowered the rounds required to play ranked tournaments from 60 to 45, which is a great change because it'll make rank more accessible to players. And with more players comes the potential of better matchmaking, instead of being fodder in higher level lobbies just to fill a slot. Solo Banquet has been disabled and replaced by Steal the Spotlight. Moving on to maps. They made night and night storm weather conditions slightly less dark for OLED, and tweaking some LOD settings for trees so they pop less on low settings. On to movement. Fix an issue where players would become steps as stuck in encroached places. Fix an issue that caused players to fail wall jumps if they pressed and held jump too early in the vault sequence. Also an issue where players would cancel the slide if aiming down sights was triggered from toggle crouch. I think this also affected hold to crouch, because ever since the last patch while sliding I would come to a dead stop, when prior to the patch I would continue to slide and can turn around and shoot while doing so. Hopefully they bring back that aspect because it made the game a lot more fluid for me. Now we have an update to security. They add even more improvements to the cheat detection, which if you played in diamond lobbies like me, and hell, even some bronze players too, you will realize that the most demoralizing thing is to finally make it to the last round and being completely crushed and helpless against a cheating piece of trash, using either an M11 or Lewis gun, killing you halfway across the map. It's not a great time, especially if you're solo queuing. And to be quite honest, I can't blame anyone for alt F4ing after that, because on PC at least 3 out of 5 tournaments that I played yesterday, the lobbies had at least one cheater. And in my opinion, those aren't the greatest ratios, so hopefully these measures are more effective than the last. Alright, as for settings, they increased the default FOV from 71 to 81. This is only applied though to new installations. On the UI, they added a career rank screen so players can see rewards earned by gaining rank, and additional item tutorial videos, added new event contracts to the contract screen, updated the size of ranked icons, fixed wrapping issues on the contracts during the end of round sequences, decreased the duration of vault objective markers in the beginning of the round, made various improvements to contextual ping accuracy, making it more accurate. Now that is definitely a hidden gem in here and is a really good improvement if implemented correctly. This could be massively helpful to players that don't have a mic or prefer not to turn on their mic in ranked. For VFX, they added new impact effects when friendly players shoot each other, instead of coin effects that could cause confusion for players. I honestly hope that they change the sound effect that teammates make when they either go invisible or have recon, because that also confuses the shit out of me too. I can't tell if it's an enemy invis light running around behind me with a sword or if it's my teammate. But yeah, hopefully the next patch we'll see. Updated collision on coin death effects to reduce the number of coins that could fall through the floors, as well as various improvements to coin death effects, and optimization pass on the gas canister explosion effects. Finally, onto weapons. They increased the size of various grenade projectiles to make them easier to see in combat. Fix some issues where AoE damage could be wrongfully invalidated, causing no damage to be done. Fix an exploit where melee weapons could be swung much faster than intended, as well as an issue that prevented C4 and mines from being picked up when placed on a throwable object that had been picked up. And I'll be honest, if you're a heavy, you're never going to pick that shit up. That object is already probably on its way to a team wipe. So that's about it. If you guys found this video informative, again, please smash that like button. And also, I have a few projects that I'm currently working on at the moment. I'll be posting up a survey in a few hours so you guys can vote on which ones I should prioritize the most. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the arena. Peace.